Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, Happy New Year 2026. I remind you to go check my video here on the channel from last night to tell you how it's going to change 2026 in terms of approach, but YouTube is going to be a crucial platform as I told you. And now let's jump into the bomb of the last 24 hours, Chelsea and Maresca. Let's jump into it. And here we are guys with the story, the clear story of the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, because while I was dropping you news last night, Pascal Gross back to Brighton, a big surprise, a big exclusive story. Congratulations to Brighton for bringing back Pascal Gross to the club. Neymar signing a new contract at Santos, so Neymar stays for one more year at Santos Football Club. Manor Solomon leaving Villarreal, returning to Tottenham and going to Fiorentina on loan. So many movements, but the big story was about Enzo Maresca. I released a video yesterday here on the channel telling you keep an eye on this situation because the tension is growing, and there was a crucial part of that video. Remember that this is not about the timing. This is not about next games he needs to win, end of January the results have to be better. I told you, don't link the current situation to the next games. It could be any moment, and it was the case because Chelsea and Enzo Maresca have decided to part company with immediate effect after a very, very difficult, tense situation behind the scenes. Because Enzo Maresca did an important job with Chelsea in terms of results, in terms of what he won. He won the Conference League and then he won the Club World Cup, bringing Chelsea back to Champions League football last season, so 3 semi-finals in 1 year and a half, so that was an important job. But at the same time, on club side, they were not happy with some situations and some decisions. Also, the recent results, remember that Chelsea won only one of the last 8 games, one of the last 7 in Premier League, so the situation was quite tense between people at the club and Enzo Maresca. Quite tense also in the last 24-48 hours, and that's why I was telling you, keep an eye on the situation for the immediate. Don't link this situation to the next games, because it was not sure at all that Enzo Maresca was going to make the next games. What I can tell you is that Enzo Maresca, in reality, despite official version of the story, didn't do his press conference against after the game against Bournemouth for one reason. Enzo Maresca was already convinced about the decision to leave Chelsea. Enzo Maresca was already clear on his position. So from what I'm told, after the game, after the Bournemouth game, late night, Enzo Maresca already informed Chelsea about his desire to leave the club. And Chelsea, at the same time, living a really difficult situation because it's been really tense in the recent months. Don't forget one crucial moment, a really important moment of this story. The transfer market has always been a point because we know this is not just a Chelsea. At some club, the manager can have more say in terms of new signings. Other clubs, it could be different. But in the summer, when Levi Colwill suffered an ACL injury, Chelsea wanted to trust Joshua Champong, didn't want to sign any other player. And so Maresca went public and decided to ask for a new centre-back, believing that Chelsea, with many competitions, needed to have a new centre-back. So in that moment, already this relationship started to deteriorate. Now, we will see what's going to happen in the future of Maresca, in the future of Chelsea, but the relationship is over. Chelsea and Maresca part ways with immediate effect, and now starts a new era. Let me start with Enzo Maresca. For Enzo Maresca, don't forget about Manchester City. Enzo Maresca had some conversations with Manchester City people to understand their situation. Manchester City have been clear on their position. Pep Guardiola has not communicated anything about his future, but people into the industry believe that there is a good chance to see Pep Guardiola leaving Manchester City in the summer 2026. And so what Manchester City are doing is just preparing, talking to potential candidates for a Manchester City job in case Pep decides to leave the club in 2026. So Man City are just preparing, and in this preparation job, Enzo Maresca is considered as a candidate, really highly rated and appreciated by the club. So that's for sure a point. And then in terms of next steps, Enzo Maresca will now wait to see what's going to happen with Man City. For sure he would be interested in the job, but this depends on Pep Guardiola and on Man City. Respecting Pep Guardiola, Maresca has a very good relationship with Pep, so it's on Pep to decide what he wants to do. In case he leaves, Maresca for sure will be a contender for Manchester City job after already having conversation with them. What happens at Chelsea, guys, now? Because Chelsea started 2026, 1st of January, without a manager. But this vacancy won't be long. Because from what I'm told, Chelsea will be fast, quick in appointing a new manager. This is not going to take weeks, months, so it's going to be quite fast from what I'm hearing. And Chelsea want a permanent manager. So the idea at Chelsea is not to have maybe a caretaker manager for a few months and then we see in the summer. Chelsea want a permanent manager now. Many questions I'm receiving from you guys. Questions on Cesc Fabregas, but I can guarantee that Cesc Fabregas is fully focused on Como job, so at this point I'm not aware of any direct contact. Many questions on Oliver Glasner, but at this point no talks took place with Chelsea. Oliver Glasner will not sign a new deal at Crystal Palace, I can confirm that. Also talking about Palace, they get a deal almost done today for Brendan Johnson from Tottenham, but Oliver Glasner will not sign a new deal at the club, but it's not about Chelsea. Chelsea are not talking to Glasner as of today. One name I can confirm, and I gave you already a few weeks ago here on the channel, and I want to mention that name again today, is Liam Rosenior, the manager of Strasbourg. Same group as Chelsea, Blueco, same ownership. People at Blueco are very, very impressed and happy with the very good job Liam Rosenior is doing at Strasbourg. And so, from what I heard in the internal conversations at Chelsea, the name of Rosenior in the recent days has always been around. And so keep an eye on Liam Rosenior, because for sure, 100%, what I can tell you here today is that he's a contender to become new Chelsea manager. Then, let's see what's going to happen in the next hours and days. Now at Chelsea, obviously, it's going to be time to discuss internally, to decide the best solution, to understand what they want to do. Obviously, for Rosenior, would be a big step to go from Ligue 1, with all the respect, to Chelsea job, of course. But Chelsea really believe this manager is talented. So, he's a candidate. Let's see what Chelsea decide to do. There will be, for sure, more candidates for the job. But the situation is moving now at Chelsea, and they want a manager very, very soon. Don't forget that Chelsea play Manchester City. For that game, obviously, Enzo Maresca won't be there. As I told you, it's over. Let's see what's going to happen in terms of new appointment, but internal talks are taking place, and Liam Rosenior is a clear candidate to make it happen. Also, for some people asking me about big names like Jose Mourinho, comeback, or others, at this stage, I'm not aware of anything taking place for that kind of profile. Chelsea will respect their vision, respect their trust in the project, and respect in trying to make something work for present and future. So this is what Chelsea will follow. I will keep you updated on new manager, but for sure, Liam Rosenior, a name to watch, as I already told you, and I maintain also in today's video. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories. Remember to tell me your say here in the comments about Enzo Maresca, about who do you want as new Chelsea manager, and also Manchester City, because this Maresca story could have an impact also on the future of Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. So your opinion, guys, here in comments, like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. Happy New Year to all of you, 2026, and see you soon, here every single day.